weekend that is coming.
Yeah. Well, I found the car I want when the zombie apocalypse happens. Holy Jesus, this thing is insane. Have you ever pulled up to work and been excited when you pulled up? Like, oh man. You know, as an installer, every now and then you'll see a car parked out front. You're like, man, I can't wait to work on that. That was my thought this morning when I pulled in. I was like, man, we're gonna be putting some badass stuff in this Jeep. No, we're not. So sad. On the upside, we're doing something that we haven't done to a Jeep before. I know what you're thinking. How's that even possible? Huh? What are we doing to this Jeep? Well, we have done this. We're doing a hitch cam. So we got one of these cool guys here. We're gonna put a camera right here in the middle of it. We're actually gonna use the Cam 01 from EchoMaster. Surprise, surprise. Next, we're going to use this guy right here. The backup camera interface, the BCI CH21. Now this is for the previous generation models compared to the Rams we always do. This is gonna allow us to add a backup camera to this factory radio. And that's it. That's all we're doing in this. I know, so depressed. Man, the fun I mean, who spends this much money on a Jeep and doesn't get a badass stereo? Huh? Oh well, let's get started. Right. All right, so this is what we have to work with here. What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna get these letters off because I need to drill a hole in the center and it needs to be flat. I'm just gonna go ahead and grind them off. Gone ahead and covered this in blue tape because we wanted to find the center of this so that we can mount our camera. Now our camera comes with the cool hole saw that we're going to use to drill a hole through it. And then it also comes with this, which is the flush mount that's going to go right here in the center for this camera to mount. Out of the box, the camera comes with a regular, you know, this funky mount that you guys have seen us use before as front-facing cameras. So what we need to do is get this mount off so that we can put that mount on. It also comes with a cool locking, the silver part here. But we're gonna wait to put this on until we drill the hole so we can test fit this a couple times. Now these cameras also have an indicator for up so that, you know, when you put it in you can figure out which way is up. We'll talk more about the camera in a little bit. Let's go ahead and talk about this guy and what this brings to the table. So in the box you get two harnesses and a brain box right here, and of course the instruction manual, which is probably the most important part of it. It has a bank of dip switches right here on page 1, and it asks you what you want to do. So set dip switches on position to activate the corresponding feature. Set dip switch to off position for any features that are not desired. For example, we want to do a aftermarket reverse camera, so that is going to be number 1. We're gonna go ahead and turn that on. This also will give you the ability to do navigation unlock if you want, vehicle rear seat entertainment, as well as adding a front camera. We've got this set the way we want it. We're gonna go ahead and, like always, we're gonna tape that off so that the dip switches don't get bumped. Depending on the vehicle you're putting it in, there is a loop wire which is located right here next to the brain harness. This is for certain vehicles that allows you to do these features. We have a Jeep. This is for Commander, Compass, Grand Cherokee, Liberty, and Patriot. The Wrangler's not on here, so we don't have to worry about cutting the wire. Depending on what you're trying to do with this, there are several things that this will do. Like we said, it will do the navigation unlock. So if you were just gonna do that, you wouldn't use the video harness. You just plug this in, flick switch 2, plug this in, and that would allow the navigation to work. One other thing that this has is it comes with this LED. Now this LED is if you don't have the multi-function display screen in the dash, or if you don't have Uconnect, then you will need this for a visual display of what's going on. On the harness also is the trigger for the reverse camera. This is the power here. It's up to a 10 amp, which is more than enough to power one backup camera. If your intent is to add a backup camera, then this is the harness you're going to plug in along with this harness. And on it, it's clearly labeled camera, so you're gonna unplug this and plug in your new camera. And the reason why it has this style connector is because if the car already has a backup camera and you just want to add a front camera, or if you want to expand on the rear seat entertainment, let's say it has rear seat entertainment and you'd like to go to secondary monitors, then you can do that here. You can also add in an auxiliary input. Now this is barring certain vehicles are not all created equal. This is obviously a universal application, so not all of them are going to work the same way, but that's the idea behind this harness. So now what we're going to do is unplug this. Our camera is going to go into the side where the radio, this plugs into the radio, and we're going to plug our camera in here. Now of course you definitely want to want to read over this, at least skim it, because there are notes aplenty on here so that you'll know how to do what it is you're trying to do. On page 3, it talks all about the navigation unlock process. On page 4, it talks about rear seat entertainment. And of course, on page 4 on the bottom is the troubleshooting section if you run into issues. So I'm gonna pass this over to Fernando so that he can get this harness all taped up and ready to go. So now I'm going to finish drilling my hole in this.
Grab your pry tool and in the window switches, just go around the edges. Carefully pull it out. And the switch is a lock, push it up and the switch comes out. Inside it's a 7mm. In top of the radio, remove the cover and that's another 7mm. Under the steering wheel, you remove the cover. We're gonna pull 2 7mm on the corner. Then you grab your pry tool. The radio have 4 7mm.
Alright, so that's what we end up with. So now that we know that it fits, there's a couple things about this camera you want to know about. This loop right here at the end, if you don't want backup lines, like because your radio has adjustable backup lines, you're going to want to cut this loop and that'll deactivate the backup lines that are built into this camera. Now on the harness itself, you have this is what it plugs into. There is a normal and a mirrored image. So if you're going to use this for a front camera, you go ahead and switch it to normal and that would make it a front facing camera. Using it in the rear, you want to select mirror. Also in the box is a piece of heat shrink to go over this to protect it, along with a bunch of screws, nuts, and washers. So how we ran the wire is we drilled a hole here and put a 4-gauge grommet in it, and then the loom runs up along here. And then behind this panel, went ahead and fastened it to the car here so that it stays put. It runs up behind here and is now going to get zip tied to the factory harness and run forward. And then what we end up is we can put this back on and our wire is hidden. We're gonna go ahead and add on some more loom because this is where it fell short. And we'll run it all up inside here. I've already gone ahead and removed these so it'll come across, probably come underneath the seat and up this way or up through the dash. It's gonna come up through the dash. He's already gone ahead and removed the dash there. You going up through the dash?
I'm going up through the dash.
He's going up through the dash. Grab the screws. There's a place right here in the dash that we can Velcro this to, so we're gonna go ahead and put some Velcro on it here. You know, they put the stickers on the bottom, which is where you want to put the Velcro, but unfortunately the sticker also has all the instructions. If you put the Velcro there and you need to read the sticker, well, sometimes you can't do that. All right, so the dash is back together. Go ahead and put it in reverse. And there we go. We have a nice behind us image. And as you can see, he really needs it. That tire, that makes that rear window almost useless. That's what it looks like. That is so big. All right, guys, this one is done. On to the next one. Leftover yaya salad for breakfast. Well, the winter is over already. It's hot as hell outside.
The winter never came.
Yeah, well, no, it came for a day. We had some 60s, but it ain't 60 anymore. All right, so next up on the list is this P312 going into this Lexus. See how low that is? That means it won't come up our ramp, which means we get to work outside in the sunshine. I get to work on my shiny spot on the back of my head, make it red. Awesome.
Work with umbrellas, how about that?
Oh, he's got an umbrella in the trunk. Look at that. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, it's a Nike umbrella. Dang.
Work like that.
Yeah, all right. Okay, I just want you to know that every now and then you do have to get just a tad bit, you know, because it kind of, you know, doing this every day, so please excuse that. It's just, it happens, but total professionals. So we got to empty this trunk here, got to empty that back seat there. The nice thing is this is an automatic that will cut down some of the time because we just have this cool convenient spot right here that we get to drill through, so that's awesome. So let's get over to the bench and get this thing wired up. Now for those of you guys that have never seen this before, what you get in the box is this cool power plug right here that plugs into the side of it just like this. You get a bass knob that's just a really long aux cable, and then you're also supposed to get a cool high level input that apparently Paul didn't give us, so I have to go walk over and get that. Comes with this guy here, which is your input to the amplifier. Now, a bit about this, depending on how you're planning on running it. If you're gonna be running it from an aftermarket radio, obviously you're gonna have RCAs that plug into these. If you're gonna be running it like we are, high level, what they want you to do is cut these off, and this is your high level input. There's a switch here on the side of the amplifier that you tell it whether it's gonna be line level or high level, which is the switch in the middle. So it also comes with this. This is a hook and loop piece of Velcro, so that if you want to stick this thing down to the trunk, you can. For this, all you need is an 8 gauge. So we're going to use some Stinger Select 8 gauge here, 100% copper kit. Now, even though this has auto sense turn on and that it uses the audio, it has 2 modes of auto sense. It has current as well as audio. There's really very few instances where if you're not doing an aftermarket radio, you would need the remote turn on. However, we would much rather play it safe than sorry and run the remote turn on now, because it would stink to have to add it later. Plus, like we said, if they ever decide to add an aftermarket radio, it's there. So we have our umbilical cord all made up here. We have our ground soldered on. Our rest of our wires are all set. Now the cool thing about this is that if he needs to take this out, this all just unplugs and he can take it out. So that's why we make this cool umbilical like this. So now I'm gonna go ahead, take this over to the car and get it all wired up inside. Alright, this guy is done. Woo. Right, so, you know, all for bringing your car filled with crap, there's a subwoofer in there somewhere. I'm sure that's gonna sound great. Alright, so the bass knob's mounted right there, and the fuse holder is mounted right there. And like I said, that made it real easy to come out of that hole right there. Gone ahead and covered that up with some 3M strip caulk. And that one is done. On to the next one. So the next car is an Xterra. This holds true for Xterra, any Nissan that has this dash here. Check this out. This dash, this one. Now this dash, or any version of this dash, there's one that has automatic climate control, same thing. They're made out of eggshells, and I mean literally eggshells. I've never had a dash explode on me before, but this dash, it's the nemesis. Now there's already a small little crack right here in this little pocket. There's a little crack right here. So we went ahead and told this customer, like, look, there's a 90% chance that this dash is not gonna make it through this install. We're not gonna be responsible for it. It's just unfortunate. If you want us to do it, we're gonna take as much care as we can, but I didn't design it, and there's metal clips here, and there's a metal clip here, and this is plastic, and very brittle plastic. It tends to break right there. And I've already bought one of these. That's why I know this, because, you know, hey, live and learn. Had one explode in my hands, and I was like, oh. So we bought a new one, no big deal. And ever since then, we've just explained to the customers, look, we're not responsible for your dash falling apart in our hand. So this customer actually left and was like, I'll have my buddy do it. His buddy works for an Infiniti dealer. He looked at the car and says, no man, that's 100% true. That thing's gonna break. I'm not touching it. And he called us back and he says, hey, my next door neighbor, the Infiniti tech, was like, yeah, they were right. It's chances are good that it's gonna break, because that's just the way they roll. So he's back today because he's like, you know what, go ahead, give it a shot. Worst comes to worst, it breaks. I'll buy a new one, whatever. I'm like, no problem. Today, we're gonna try to get this thing out without breaking it. Oof, man. All right, let's get started. So really, at the end of the day, I don't even really need to get this part out. I just need to pop it up, because there's a screw right here. If I can get this to pop up, I might get this to come off without, yeah. So, but like I said, there's already a little crack right here, so I don't have a lot of faith in it. Now, the clips are here and here and here and here, so, all right, let's just get going. All right, so every clip holding it in place broke, and then like we said, there was already a stress crack here, which is right here. So I'm not real worried about that because this will actually go back into place fairly easily. And the reason why I was using these is because I was trying, they put this tape on here for some reason, which makes it even worse because then it sticks to the side. So the idea was to try to get in there. This is thinner than my pry tools. To try to free up that edge so that this would pop out. Oh, wow. I gotta tell you, that was a bit stressful. Okay, to show you what I was talking about is, you see these guys right here, they're attached way back in here. So what happens is, for some reason, these just break, and when they do, they take this whole thing with it. So this just gets all shattered. Very stressful to work on these cars. I mean, they had this screw here. It would have been nice if they'd have just put a screw here and a screw here and not had these. That way the whole piece could have come off. Whatever. All right, so we got it off. Like I said, this is really the only piece that didn't come, and it pops out. We'll get this over onto the bench, probably just put a little bit of glue on the back side of it so you don't see it, put it back together. But there again, he knew that was there, so that's okay. I'm happy we got it out, no injuries. For this install, we'll be using the Best Kits BK NDK 730 dash kit. Now this is a full replacement, so we won't be using any of the factory brackets to put this in. It has all the pieces needed. Comes with an instruction manual if you need it. We're going to be using the BHA 7550 wiring harness, which is the standard Nissan wiring harness. And then for a radio, we're just going to be putting in the FHX 820BS. So this will have Bluetooth and Sirius XM capability. Alright, we're good. It's all centered, looks good. Can't see the workbench through it at all, even ever so slightly. So we'll set this aside. Alright, so the radio's in. We want to test it, but we can't test it yet because of this airbag light. We want to make sure that's plugged in before we turn the dash on, because we don't want to have to go through the whole airbag setup process. We don't have to. We'll just set this radio up here kind of in place. Now, just in case you're wondering how we're able to keep taking this on and off, we'll remove the top clips. We're not going to have that problem ever again. If we have to take this thing out for whatever reason, I'm not going to fight this and take the chance of breaking it, because if we didn't break it this time, we'll probably break it next time. So it makes more sense just to remove these. This screw will hold this all in nice and tight. Plus this has a lip in here that this attaches to. Looks better than it did when it came in here. We'll slide that in place. Put the mat back in. Whew. All right, so this one is done. It's stressful, you know, it doesn't need to be, but it is, because at the end of the day, you know, we don't want anything bad to happen to anybody's car. Sometimes you can't avoid it, but still, whew, burden is lifted. All right, guys, on to the next one. All right, next up on the list is this Dodge Durango. And the reason why this is in with us today is because he tried to install the radio himself. It has a factory infinity system in it, and he was getting no sound. He could get the radio to power up, but he could get no sound. Now, it looks like all he did was twist the wiring harness together, because it's all laying in the front seat. He also still has the factory radio, which was key, because we're like, we'll do it if you still have the factory radio. Because we want to do is plug it in, make sure that it actually works. If it works, then we can go out from there to see what is going on. Without the factory radio, we don't know if the amplifier was dead, what the condition of the speakers are in, was there any sound beforehand. You know, we might be able to get the radio in and run into the same problem, because let's say the amplifier was dead, and then what? And then we gotta pull it out and bypass the amplifier and all that stuff, and I just needed a simple radio install. First things first, plug the factory radio in, see if it works. I don't have anything with your installation.
Never subcontracted. All you have to do is subscribe to Slow's Low Cost Central.
You in this corner?
Yeah.
All right, I don't have any sound coming out of this corner.
No.
So 3 is bad.
Yeah,
that's 1.
Never let you down. Dial pound 250 from your cell phone now. Say the keyword
4. Yeah, nothing comes out of 3.
Okay.
All right, so 3 is bad, but we have sound. All right, so channel 3 has no sound. It looks like he even has aftermarket speakers in here. That might be why it has no sound, but we have sound at the radio, which is cool. That means from there we can go forward with our install. And for us, we're gonna put in Pioneer DHS 1000 UB.
I knew it.
You knew it? Yeah?
I'm the winner.
You're the winner, chicken dinner. All right, so we have the harness here. We have his harness that he just looks like he twisted it together. Of course, this, yeah, let's just get it on the bench. All right, first things first is to get this out of here. We'll set this aside. Let's get this cage mounted inside of this. A while back, we had a Dodge Ram or something along those lines come in. I think it was a Dodge Ram that had one of these kits. And we showed you guys what we do to mount this thing so that it doesn't wobble in the dash. We'll go ahead and do that to this so this one doesn't wobble in the dash. Before we do that, we're gonna go ahead and grab all these wires here, get this all soldered up. All right, harness is done. So essentially what you have to do is you have to add a stopper here and a stopper here because there's the only 2 screw points here. So what happens is it'll pivot on those 2 points. But now that we've added those, the kit is nice and secure. Try and see if the new radio works. So we are good there. We'll go ahead and pull this off. We'll slide this thing into place. And the hits, they just don't quit. But as far as this one's concerned, it's done. Right, Fernando?
That's right.
Did you have a good time?
Always, yeah.
That's it. I'm pretty. I think this is the last one for the day. I'm hoping so. So, if not, on to the next one. But if it is, you guys have a great night, and I'll see you later. Bye. Yeah.